In the automotive world, Tesla's Model Y outpaces the entire German car industry, leaving legacy automakers like Toyota struggling to catch up. While industry giants like GM, Ford, and Volkswagen appear to be slowing down their electric vehicle transition, the reality is quite different. EV demand remains on the rise, with Tesla leading the charge. As Tesla adeptly balances production and sales, the rest of the automotive industry finds itself grappling with a significant overcapacity of 40% compared to actual demand. The question looms: what happens when their traditional internal combustion engine, ICE business continues to decline by 40%, 50%, or even 60% over the next decade? Let's find out. The automotive industry is currently facing a puzzling dilemma. It turns out that they have a staggering 40% more production capacity than there is actual demand for their vehicles. This surplus capacity has led to the industry struggling with razor-thin profit margins. However, Tesla, the electric vehicle EV pioneer, has defied this trend, achieving remarkable returns on capital that defy industry norms. Tesla's gigafactories have emerged as some of the most profitable investments in the entire automotive landscape. In contrast, legacy players like GM, which faced a major bailout in 2009 to save jobs, now find themselves producing fewer than 6 million vehicles annually, a sharp decline from the 10 million cars they sold in 2016. This 40% drop in production capacity is met with only a 25% reduction in the workforce, resulting in a substantial overcapacity issue for GM. Furthermore, GM's recent deal with the UAW, United Auto Workers Union, is expected to increase labor costs by around 25%, exacerbating their financial challenges. This, in part, is why you'll notice a glaring absence of small, affordable vehicles from major US automakers. The economics of producing these smaller cars have become untenable, pushing them to focus on more profitable trucks, SUVs, and crossovers. This is where Toyota and other Japanese automakers initially stepped in. They managed to maintain profitability with their small cars in the US, even though Toyota's operating margins have dwindled to a mere 0.2%. A significant portion of their profits, about 67%, still comes from their home market in Japan, where operating margins stand at a healthier 12.1%. However, the transition to EVs is proving challenging for Toyota, given the slim profit margins they've been working with, both in the US and Europe. In stark contrast, Tesla is not only turning a profit, but a substantial one at that, particularly in the US. The Model 3, a midsize sedan, is a testament to Tesla's ability to do what traditional US automakers struggled with for years, creating a profitable midsize sedan. With a 20% margin, Tesla is achieving something remarkable that other automakers, including Toyota, have not managed to do with their compact vehicles. Tesla's secret sauce? A relentless focus on innovation and efficiency in both vehicle production and supply chain management. Unlike the legacy automakers, Tesla doesn't rely heavily on service and repairs through dealerships for revenue. They've disrupted this business model by prioritizing vehicle quality and making the electric car segment sustainable from a business standpoint. At the same time, while Tesla thrives, the old guard automakers are grappling with heavy losses as they try to navigate the electric vehicle market. They're even slowing down their EV transition, trying to avoid further financial hemorrhage. However, this delay may prove to be a double-edged sword, as they risk losing market share to both Tesla and Chinese automakers as the EV market continues to expand. It's not just a problem confined to the United States. The German automakers are also facing challenges. Mercedes is struggling to sell its EVs, Audi has postponed the release of their electric SUV, and Volkswagen is encountering hurdles in achieving their EV sales targets. While Tesla has faced its own delays and challenges, including the Cybertruck and Roadster, it's important to note the extenuating circumstances like the COVID-19 pandemic and chip shortages. Despite these challenges, Tesla has managed to deliver on its production promises and remain a shining example of how to thrive in the electric vehicle industry. Despite facing a few hiccups along the way, Tesla has remained steadfast in its ambitious goals. Back in 2014, they boldly declared that they would produce 500,000 units in 2020. Many skeptics scoffed at this audacious claim, dismissing it as absurd. However, Tesla proved the naysayers wrong, achieving exactly what they had promised. Furthermore, Tesla pledged to maintain a staggering 50% compound annual growth rate from that point onward, and they are meticulously adhering to this trajectory. While some have lately rekindled their faith in traditional automakers like Toyota, it's important to note that they still aren't fully committed to electric vehicles. They continue to hedge their bets on hydrogen technology, despite their own admission that their hydrogen car, the Mirai, has been a failure. In California, a significant car market in the US, Tesla has already surpassed Toyota in terms of sales. From January to June, the Tesla Model Y was the best-selling car, followed closely by the Tesla Model 3. Toyota's affordable Camry lagged significantly behind. Meanwhile, Tesla has also managed to top the charts in Europe, with the Model Y remaining the best-selling car in the region. And in China, the world's largest car market, Tesla's Model Y maintained its reign as the best-selling car of any kind from January to September. China, the world's largest car market, is rapidly embracing electric vehicles, EVs. Currently, 24% of the market is electric, and it's on track to reach a 40% share. Now let's take a closer look at how the entire German auto industry, with all its brands and models, stacks up against just one of Tesla's models, the Model Y, in China. The revelation is staggering. Tesla's Model Y outpaces the entire German auto industry's collective EV sales in China. Just let that sink in for a moment. Tesla, with a single model, outperforms the entire German fleet. This highlights a crucial principle. More choice doesn't necessarily mean more sales. In fact, it can complicate production and confuse consumers. For a deep dive into this concept, check out the linked video below. The unsettling truth is that traditional automakers are also slowing down their EV production efforts because they perceive a lack of demand. Both Ford and GM have scaled back their EV production due to an oversupply of vehicles, while the demand for electric vehicles continues to grow worldwide, with global EV market share reaching a new high in September 2023. Traditional automakers' overly ambitious production targets, such as 36,000 and 20,000 units per quarter, are far too high for the current demand. Tesla, on the other hand, is well ahead of the pack. By 2023, they are set to sell approximately 1.8 million EVs. While they've made price cuts that have impacted their profits, they still remain highly profitable. The same can't be said for many Chinese automakers like BYD, who are currently experiencing losses due to a price war. So what's the real issue here? Traditional automakers are missing the mark on EVs, but instead of acknowledging their own shortcomings, they claim there's an overall demand problem for EVs. The reality is that consumers have spoken, and they want EVs. Companies like Volkswagen and Hyundai have ceased selling internal combustion engine, ICE cars in Norway, and even Toyota has conceded that hydrogen cars, like their Mirai, have been a colossal failure. Despite the hesitation and confusion from traditional automakers, the truth is that there's no lack of demand for EVs. The best-selling car globally is an electric vehicle. In California, the Model Y is outselling traditional cars, even surpassing Toyota's Camry, while in Europe, the Model Y continues to lead the charts. In China, Tesla's Model Y has maintained its position as the best-selling car from January to September 2023. The automotive industry is at a turning point. With the growth of EVs, it's likely that by 2030, 60 to 70% of ICE vehicle sales will have disappeared. The industry already has 40% more production capacity than necessary, and further reductions in ICE demand will lead to oversupply, resulting in a loss of economies of scale. This is where companies like Tesla and Chinese automakers will step in to capture more market share. We're witnessing a profound shift in the auto industry, akin to the disruption caused by Apple and Google in the smartphone market. Traditional automakers are making mistakes and attempting to find alternative solutions like e-fuels and hydrogen, while consumers have already embraced EVs. Electric vehicles are no longer niche. They've moved into the mainstream market, with the early majority showing interest. This is a significant milestone for Tesla, placing it on par with legacy automakers like Audi, BMW, and Mercedes. So, what are your thoughts about Tesla single-handedly dominating the entire EV space? Share with us in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, show us some love by hitting that like button and leaving a comment down below. Also, if you're a fan of all things technology, be sure to check out this other video we've got lined up for you. It's packed with all the latest news, tips, and tricks to keep you ahead of the curve.